It is the University of Michigan Wolverines volleyball team's return to Cliff Keen Arena. They spent the last couple of weeks playing in Chrysler Center, and now that basketball season's starting to get into full swing, the Wolverines move back to Cliff Keen underneath the historic banners. Erin Moore, Lexi Zimmerman, Juliana Paz, Alex Hunt, Jennifer Cross, Abby Cole, Carly Scoot, and Paige Jones, all AVCA All-Americans, hanging in the rafters above this historic building. My name is Joshua Tenzer, and you are listening to WCBN's coverage of University of Michigan Volleyball as the Wolverines take on the Indiana Hoosiers. The Wolverines are 13-5 and just 4-4 in conference play. They haven't lost to an unranked team since September 9th when they played Duke, and they haven't lost to an unranked team at home all season. Indiana, on the other hand, they are 10-10, 3-5 in the Big Ten play. The starters for the University of Michigan Wolverines are being announced now and are as follows. Allison Jacobs is starting for the Wolverines. She's not one of the main starters that the Wolverines turn to day after day. In fact, looking at her season stats, Allison Jacobs has not started a single match. This is her first time. Maddie Dowd starting as setter for the Wolverines, and Hannah Grant coming in as libero. Jess Robinson gets the nod to start at outside hitter. It's her 19th start in all 19 matches. Jackie Boney doesn't start often. She's only played in, pardon me, I'm looking at the wrong numbers. She starts every game. This is 19 of 19 for her. And May Pertovsky, when she's healthy, she's the starter. And Jess Merzick round out the starting seven for the University of Michigan Wolverines. Wolverines will be starting on radio left, Indiana Hoosiers radio right. It is pink night here in Cliff Keen Arena. Pink pom-poms waving in the crowds. Many of the fans dressed in breast cancer awareness shirts, other pink commemorative shirts, really adding to the atmosphere. The lines are painted pink. It's a wonderful atmosphere. Chrysler Center, it's so large, you get a lot of fans, but the setting here in Cliff Keen Arena, so intimate, so loud. The Michigan Volleyball band is back in full force over the entrance. And to the sounds of Narco, the teams get set. Here's the Wolverines. We'll start with Hannah Grant, the libero, on the sidelines. The stars for Indiana: Ka Alonso Corselis, Maddie Saris, Cameron Hayworth, pardon me, Savannah Kolide, Morgan Geddes, Paula Sarami, and Kaylee Ramelsberg. Michigan will start with the ball. It'll be Allison Jacobs to serve. Hannah Grant moves back in off the sideline. That'll be Jackie Boney, who is on the sidelines for the starting six. Allison Jacobs, 2 paces away from the near sideline. Float serve into the net. And on a service error, Indiana up 0-1. That is Allison Jacobs' 6th service error of the season. Just 2 service aces for her. And now serving for Indiana from the far side, Gary Gosnell. Wolverines attack, and it lands inbounds. Able to return the serve, and Jess Merzick, a cross-court attack, finds Hardwood. 1-1 is the score. University of Michigan tied it up with the Indiana Hoosiers, and Jess Robinson will serve from the far side. The Hoosiers lining up with 4 players on the far side as well. Their libero, Sarame, and Maddie Saris on the near side. There's a referee having a conversation with the Indiana coach, perhaps an illegal substitution. All manners seem to be sorted out, though. Getting back in action, that's Steve Aird, the head coach for the Hoosiers. He's a 2-time NCAA champion as an assistant coach at Penn State. It's just his 5th season as the head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. Robinson moves over to the near side to serve. Still a conversation between Aird and the head official. Looks tense. And things are more or less the same as they were before. Robinson, no bounces. Floater serve, drops in the dead center of the court. Diving, stopped by the liberos, able to make things work. And the Hoosiers are able to recover. Attack that goes off the forearms of Jacobs and out of bounds. 2-1 Indiana Hoosiers. Now is a kill by Candela Alonso Soreles. Assisted by Maddie Saris. They puts University of Indiana, or Indiana University rather, up to 1. Kenzie Daphne to serve from the center of the court. Drop to Jacobs, set by Dowd, tipped up and over by May Pertovsky, and they're saying she stepped on the center line. Hoosiers up 3-1. The first dig by Jacobs sent the ball really close to the net. Great work by Maddie Dowd to just tip the ball back over towards where Pertovsky was waiting. Fortunately, Pertovsky had too much forward momentum. Another strong serve dug well by the Wolverines. Goes up and over the net, and a first touch attack from the Hoosiers. Right back in the face of Jess Merzik. She couldn't control it. Strikes the ground. Hoosiers up early, 4-1, taking a commanding lead in the opening stretch of this game. That was a kill by Savannah Colday. Another incredible serve by Kenzie Daphne. She has the most velocity I've seen on a serve this season by any player Wolverines have had for or played against. And she's now put the Hoosiers on a 4-0 scoring run. Wolverines unable to cleanly field any of her serves. Another fireball from Daphne just goes past the baseline. It's 2-5 Michigan Wolverines on a service error by Kenzie Daphne. Daphne, the outside hitter from Westfield, Indiana. When she has such power, you're bound to have a lot of service errors. 23 service errors on the season for Daphne, just 8 service aces. But you cannot deny the results, as her serves directly led to 3 points for the Hoosiers to put them up 5-2 over the Wolverines. Float serve by the Wolverines, tipped by one of the Hoosiers, and falls out of bounds. That's a service ace for Michigan. Scotty Johnson was the server. Wolverines claw back to within 2. Serena Niambio in the front line. And Scotty Johnson in for Dowd. Hoosiers control the serve. Tip the ball up and over the block of Pertovsky and Merzik. Pardon me, that's Boney and Merzik. And the ball will strike the hardwood. It's 6-3 Hoosiers. Serving for Indiana, Candela Alonso Corsellis. She's the one who had the tip to win the point for the Wolverines. Her serve, well defended by the Wolverines. Merzik attacks. That goes through the block of Indiana. Keeping on the near side. And a cross-court attack by Maddie Saris makes it 7-3 Hoosiers lead. Maddie Saris, also an outside hitter. She's out of Ontario, Canada. Burlington, the town she was born in. And another trouble with the serve for the Wolverines. The first touch sends the ball over the net, and another first touch kill. Wolverines trail by 5 now. Hoosiers in the lead 8-3. Another serve, goes cross court. Merzick plays it well, and she'll attack. Dug strongly by the libero on the near side. Indiana sends it back across to the center of the court. Attack by Boney from the near side. That's dug well. And a double touch from number 4, Maddie Saris, will give the Wolverines the point. Another unforced error by the Hoosiers. It's 8-4. And serving for the Wolverines is Jess Merzick. Merzick with 11 service aces and 15 service errors on the season. This one falls cross court and blocked well by Niambio. The ball went cross court. Hoosiers kept it on the near side, and an attack strongly blocked by Niambio. She got her hands up there. She's one of the tallest players the Wolverines have, and she has such vertical height on her jump. Merzick from the far side, cross court, falls for Maris. Wolverines block the second hit touch attack. Attack by Allison Jacobs. Played well by the libero, Sarame. Attack goes cross court to the near side. Set by Grant. Attack by Johnson. Defended by Indiana. Johnson with a bump. Another bump. And attack from Niambio. Cross court and shallow. Point for Michigan. It's 6-8. Wolverines now on a 3-0 scoring run. The high of this game so far was a 4-0 scoring run. Merzick goes cross court. Serrano attacks. And it just clips the top of the net and goes through the block set up by Johnson and Boney. Indiana back with control of the ball and a 3-point lead. Another kill by Maddie Saris. Her third of the day, just one error for her on 6 attempts. Wolverines lead the Big Ten in hitting percentage, but so far through 15 points, they're just hitting a .286 compared to the Hoosiers' .500. Set by Johnson, cross court, attack by Jacobs. And a point, Indiana. I believe that's a double touch on the serve by Johnson. Steve Aird giving his players some commands. The Hoosiers all sent very far forward as they'll serve. The serve goes cross court. Wolverines control well. Attacked by Merzick. Dug by Indiana. Played to the near side. Attacked. And that'll strike the net. Even then, Boney and Niambio would have been there to make the block. Robinson tagging in as the Wolverines are back to within 3. Serving for the Wolverines is Hannah Grant. She's second in the Big Ten in terms of service aces per set. She used to be the service queen of the Big Ten. She has just under 1/2 aces per set. Strong block by the Wolverines. Niambio's attack is blocked as well. And they're saying Niambio touched the net on the follow-through of her attack. Point. Indiana. And the story of the game so far is unforced errors for both teams. A lot of attack errors. A lot of setting errors as well. Wolverines control the serve well. Robinson attacks. And an improper dig. Another error will give the Wolverines a point. It's 8-11. Wolverines dropped down by 3 and even 4 points early in this set, and they've kept steady and on pace with Indiana since then, but they still trail halfway through this first set. It's 8-11. Serve by Dowd, just clips the top of the net and falls back on the Wolverine side. That's a service error for Maddie Dowd. Makes it 12-8. Indiana Hoosiers lead. That is the 12th service error for Dowd. 5 aces on the season for her. And a service ace from Maddie Saris. No, pardon me, that's not Saris who's serving. That is Cameron Hayworth. She's serving from the near side, goes cross court again. Indiana, some of the best servers there are in the Big Ten. And the attack by Pertovsky goes out. Indiana up by 5 now, 13-8. Timeout called by the Wolverines. And we'll be back with you in just a moment when the timeout ends. Wolverines were down by 3 just a moment ago, but they dropped 3 straight to the Hoosiers. It's now 14-8 in the first set. Tough look for the Wolverines as they are the favored team, being outplayed specifically in the serves category. Another heater from Indiana. Another service ace for Cameron Hawthorne. That's 2 out of 3, Hayworth. That is 2 service aces in the last 3 attempts for Hayworth. Jess Merzik couldn't control the dig on the reception there, and now the Wolverines down 7. And with just 10 points left for Indiana to win to make this first set their own, time's running short for the Wolverines. Subbing in is Kendall Murray. She controls the set well. And the Wolverines will put the ball over, uncontrolled by Indiana. They're down by 6 now. And with control of the ball, Wolverines stop the bleeding. But the damage may already have been done. It's 15-9. Now Kendall Murray will serve for the Wolverines from the center of the court. Goes cross court, dug by Serrano. Serve towards the near side, blocked in front by Merzik. Strong attack by the Hoosiers. Merzik angled her hands just the perfect way to send the ball right back down the throats of Indiana. Beautiful defensive play from Jess Merzik. Wolverines down by 5 now. Murray, the junior, out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, the hometown hero, serves cross court. Another attack goes over the block of Merzik, set by Dowd. Behind her back, attacked by Boney. That's Pertovsky on the near side. That'll strike hardwood. Wolverines on a 3-0 scoring run, and timeout called by the Hoosiers. Wolverines back down by 4. We'll be back with you after this timeout. Don't go anywhere and stay tuned for just a moment. We're back in the first set between the Wolverines and the Hoosiers, and the Wolverines return to Cliff Keen Arena. It's also pink night here. Wolverines with the serve goes cross court, blocked in front by Robinson. Indiana is still in control. Another block by Robinson, and that'll strike the hardwood. It's 12-15. Wolverines were down by 8. They called a timeout. They're down by 3 now. After that momentum shift, Indiana called a timeout to try to slow Michigan's roll, and no such luck. Kendall Murray, float serve. Bumped up by Maddie Saris, and the attack goes too far for Indiana. Wolverines back to within 2. They haven't been this close since, I think it was 3-1 at the very beginning of the set. That was Kaylee Ramelsberg with the too far attack. Murray, another line drive of a serve cross court, and that couldn't be controlled off the dig by number 3 in red, Alonzo Corselis, right up front for Robinson, and another kill for Michigan's woman up front. That's her 3rd kill on 3 attempts. Absolutely stunning play by Jess Robinson. Wolverines back to within 1. Indiana gets the ball back over, attack by Robinson. Dug by Serrano de Libero in the center of the court. And a block by Robinson in front. Another time for Robinson to reach over. And that's Jess Robinson all the way. Wolverines have tied this set up 15-15. Robinson attacks, and then blocks, and then reaches over the net to disrupt Indiana's momentum and their attack pattern. Beautiful playing by Jess Robinson. 4 straight points due to her. Bring the Wolverines tied. Down with the desperation play, keeping the ball alive. Merzick sends the ball over, and it finds an empty space. The Wolverines have taken the lead. It's 16-15, and the fans are on their feet here at Cliff Keen Arena. Another timeout called by the Hoosiers. This Wolverines team right here is one of the best I've seen in my 4 years here at the University of Michigan. Absolutely stunning. They have no quit. They never say die. And it's sets like this which really set this team apart. Do they have the offensive prowess of Paige Jones anymore? No. But what they do have is a front line that is able to share the load, because Paige Jones took so much of that work in the past 3 seasons. I mean, she was an All-American 3 years ago, back in 2019. Now with Robinson, Merzick, Boney, Murray, Bertovsky, Serena Niambio, a freshman training up to take the roles by some of those graduating seniors. This team is remarkable. 15 seconds left in the timeout. This Sunday is Kidchella here at Cliff Keen Arena. Actually, pardon me, that's going to be at the Chrysler Center. Wolverines take on number 5 ranked Wisconsin. That'll be a huge game, a rematch of last week's matchup where the Wolverines lost in 4 sets. But they kept it close, losing 2 sets by a combined 5 points. And the Hoosiers strike back, making it 16 all. The timeout finally slowed the Wolverines' momentum after 8 straight points by the Wolverines. A rocket of a serve by number 15 in red from the far side. Goes too far. Wolverines in lead again. That's Kaylee Ramelsberg, the server, and now Jess Robinson to start the points off for Michigan. She'll go far side, and she'll change her mind back to near side. Again, Wolverines serving from radio left, Indiana radio right. That serve just clips the top of the net, but goes over anyways. Diving desperation play made by Kendall Murray. Sends the ball up, but no Wolverines player is able to reach a second touch. 17-17. And now to serve for Indiana, Kenzie Daphne. She led the Hoosiers on a great run with her incredible serves. Wolverines weren't able to control any reception of her serve the entire time. She serves so high up in the air and has so much velocity on her serve. Well dug by Merzik. Merzik attacks. That's through a block. Diving. Indiana keeps play alive, but not a second touch as it strikes the ground. Michigan saw danger with Daphne serving, and they were able to respond well, get the ball away from her. Wolverines up 18-17, and the fans are into it here at Cliff Keen Arena on Pink Night. Scotty Johnson to serve. One service ace for her on the day, 2 digs and an assist. For someone who became Wolverines' real second-string setter, she was in charge of setting duties all of last year. This year, Maddie Dowd has really found her time to shine. Johnson just clips top of the net. Indiana having trouble recovering it, but they do. Simple attack. Murray's able to play it from the center field. Cross-court attack from Merzik from the far side. Played well by Indiana. And the third touch by Indiana tried to get a tip. That touches the top of the net and rolls back onto Hoosiers territory. Wolverines up by 2. It's 19-17. And such a momentum shift from how this set started out and even the middle of this set. Johnson down the line on the near side, dug by the Hoosiers, and a subtle attack from number 15 in red from the center of the court, Savannah Kolde. Yeah, I can't pronounce that name. It's Kjolhede. Probably Kjolhede, maybe? Depending on where she's from. Either way, great attack by her, and a point by Indiana on a carry by Scotty Johnson. Wolverines and Hoosiers tied up. And an attack by Pertovsky strikes the corner just on the line for Indiana. And it's 20-19 Michigan. Savannah Kjolhede from Colleyville, Texas. So that gives no information about where she's from or how to pronounce her name. That's a shame. Serve for the Wolverines. Jess Merzik, the server, goes cross-court from the far side. Tip by Indiana, sends the ball over the block, and Merzik will tip herself. Attack by Indiana, blocked well by Scotty Johnson, sends the ball back over to Hoosiers territory, and a cross-court attack goes wide. Point, Wolverines. It's 21-19, Michigan. Closing in on a set where it seemed like the Wolverines were down and out, down by 7 points halfway through the set. They've taken a 2-point lead, 21-19. Merzik serves cross-court, played by Saris, and she'll attack, dug well by Dowd. The ball will fall perfectly for Johnson, and another double touch by Johnson will give the ball back to the Hoosiers. 21-20, Wolverines still lead. To serve, Maddie Saris, all the way on the sideline on the near side. She'll go cross-court. Murray goes down to the knees to get the dig, and Niambio's kill is blocked in front, but the block falls into the net. Not enough momentum on the block to push the ball back. It's a delicate balance when you're blocking the ball. You don't want to push too much. You don't want it to be called a carry. You got to keep your hands and forearms nice and strong, but if you can't get enough momentum on the bounce, then it's just going to fall flat in front of the net, and a block by Niambio and Robinson. Wolverines 2 points away from winning this set. Niambio and Robinson angled their block perfectly sideways. They twisted their hands at the wrists. Beautiful defensive work from Robinson and Niambio. Grant serves. Cross court, and she'll dig. Johnson to her knees, keeps the play alive. Set over by Merzik to the near side corner. Blocked in front by Robinson. Indiana's able to recover. Another block by Robinson! 24-20. Wolverines set point. The drums willing the Wolverines fans to their feet for set point. When it seemed like they were down and out this set, they fought back, they've clawed back, and they're 1 point away from winning this set. Played on the near side, just reaches the baseline for Indiana, and now Wolverines have to break serve, and they have 3 chances to do it before this extra points need to be played. 21-24 is the score. Serving for Indiana is number 15 in red, Savannah Kjolhede. Murray tips the ball over the block. Diving is Maris, keep the play alive, and blocked by Niambio. Just enough to get over the net, and the Wolverines take set 1, 25-21. The most exciting set this season for the Wolverines, and on pink night, Wolverines are in control after an incredible comeback spurred on by 8 straight points. All served by Kendall Murray. 5 kills, 3 errors make up that 8-point run. That's the most points the Wolverines have won in a set this season. In consecutive fashion, rather, this season. And we'll be back with you in 2 minutes for set 2 between the Hoosiers and the Wolverines. We are back for set 2 between the Michigan Wolverines and the Indiana Hoosiers. If you're just joining us, the Wolverines won in exciting fashion. Down by 7 points, they put 8 in a row to come back, and they end up taking set 1 over the Hoosiers, 25-21. Jess Robinson led the team with 4 kills. Merzik had 3 of her own, and Serena Niambio had 2. Jackie Bonney and May Potofsky both got 1. Wolverines hitting .391 as a team, and Indiana, who started off so strong, hitting at just a .088. 12 kills and 9 errors on 34 total attempts. Wolverines defense really shored up. Wolverines receive the serve well. Attack by Murray goes off the block in front by Morgan Geddes on the far side. And it will fall out of bounds. Michigan take the first point in this set and jump out to an early 1-0 lead. Michigan now on radio right. Hoosiers radio left. Kendall Murray to serve from the far side. Keeps it down the line. Hoosiers set to the far side. Played well by Dowd. Dowd to Grant. Attack by Pertovsky. Defended by the Hoosiers. Pertovsky bumps. Dowd sets from the center of the court to the near side. Mrzik attacks. Blocked by Serrano. And an incredible attack by Maddie Saris from the dead center of the court. Had such speed on it. Unable to be played by Hannah Grant. 1-1 is the score. Gray Gosnell comes in for the Hoosiers, and she'll serve. Michigan having trouble receiving the serve once again. They get the dig, but it goes up and over the net. Indiana will use that first touch attack. That's worked so well against Michigan today, and they'll take a 2-1 lead. Gosnell to serve from the near side. And that'll be out. So close to another heater. Michigan's having a lot of trouble with the Hoosiers' speedy serves. Gosnell, the junior out of Charleston, South Carolina. And an attack error by attack error by Michigan. Gives the Hoosiers a 2-3 lead. In terms of serves, that is the 6th service error of the season for Gosnell. Just 1 service ace. She's got that low line drive, high speed sort of serve that seems to be very common with a lot of Hoosiers, including the woman serving right now, Kenzie Daphne. And another early lead for the Hoosiers as it's 4-2 here in set 2. An attack out front finds open space on the floor. Kenzie Daphne lines up for the serve. She sends the ball really high in the air. It must be like 15 feet. And another service error for Daphne. It's her 2nd of the game. That'll end her run as server for the Hoosiers. Michigan trail by 1. It's 4-3. Scotty Johnson in for the Wolverines. And Serena Nyambio as well. Johnson will serve. Swam from the far side. She's most comfortable serving from the Wolverines' right wing, and that's what she's doing again. She starts off much farther back than other players and has this whole routine with bounces and seems to work for her. Hoosiers defend well on the serve and an attack blocked in front. That was Nyambio on the block. Her 5th of the day. Wolverines tie the game up at 4s. Johnson in her routine. When she comes to serve, it's a low toss and a flat serve. This time it strikes the net 5-4. Hoosiers lead. Low serve goes cross-court to the near side by Alonso Chrysalis. An attack by Michigan, tipped off the block and hits the wood. Michigan ties it back up at 5s. Mrzik to serve for the Wolverines from the near side. Cross court, and a service ace for Jess Mrzik. Whoever dug it for the Hoosiers couldn't get any height on the dig. It just fell. That was Gray Gosnell, who couldn't get any height off the dig. And the ball just kind of died off her forearms. That is the first service ace for Mrzik this game. Pertovsky attacks. That's blocked in front. Center of the court. Hoosiers tip the ball over the block by Nyambio. Nyambio attacks. Well dug by Isa Lopez, and the attack by the Hoosiers goes out of bounds. Point Michigan. It's 7-5, Wolverines taking a lead early in this set. Wolverines on a 3-0 scoring run. Merzik at the helm of that with a service ace. Float serve cross court. Ball never dropped in the zone. Goes too high and out of bounds. 6-7. Hoosiers still trail by 1, but they control the serve. Maddie Saris. She'll serve for the Hoosiers on the far side, 2 paces away from the near sideline. Far sideline. Cross court. Played well by Johnson, attacked by Kendall Murray. Hoosiers defend. Hoosiers try to tip the ball over, but no one was there to block anyway, so Wolverines able to control the defensive scheme pretty easily. Strong attack by the Hoosiers. Morgan Geddes from the far side. That's blocked in front by the Wolverines. Hoosiers maintain control anyways, and the attack goes through the block of the Wolverines. Savannah Kyolhere with a point. That is her fifth kill of the day. Kyolhere ties the game up 7-all. And the serve from Saris just clips the top of the net, and Dowd dives to keep the play alive. Wolverines could never recover. The ball goes out of bounds after a desperation attack from her knees from Kendall Murray. On the near side, just goes up and over and out of bounds. Indiana takes the lead back. It's 8-7. They're on a 3-0 scoring run. Saris is attack dug by Merzik. Scotty Johnson dives to keep the play alive, and the ball goes the wrong way, flying out into the stands. Johnson looks a little shaken up, but not worse for wear. She'll stay in. Ball landed hard on, looks like her left pinky is what she was holding. And a service error by Maddie Saris as the ball goes too far. And Jess Robinson comes in for Jackie Boney. To serve, Hannah Grant keeps it down the sideline on the near side. And a strong attack played well by Grant. Nyambio's attack, that strikes the hardwood, falls between Saris and Hayworth on the near side. Wolverines tie the game back up at 9. And it's number 9, Hannah Grant, serving another float serve. That'll drop for Saris on the near side. And the attack is blocked in front by Robinson and Murray. All 6 Hoosiers in front of the service line. So when the block had some velocity on it, no one was able to get back in time. Wolverines take a 10-9 lead in set 2. I also have a 1-0 set lead this match. Attack goes through the block. Dowd keeps it alive. I'm not entirely sure what the call was there, but either way, it's Indiana's point. It looks like just a normal sort of run-of-the-mill set. Wasn't a double touch by Johnson, perhaps a carry, as she set it with one hand. Either way, it's 10-10. Johnson sets, attack by Nyambio, blocked in front. Murray to her knees to keep it alive. Attack by Merzik. It's a slow floater down the center of the court. Robinson's attack, that falls too far. Indiana inches closer and closer to the net, and Robinson can always take advantage of it with her blocks. Another point for Robinson, her 6th block. She's got 4 kills. That's 10 points on her offense alone. Beautiful work by Jess Robinson. Wolverines up 11-10. Allison Jacobs, that's Maddie Dowd serves. Indiana controls well. Not an attack, though. And the cross-court attack from Kendall Murray from the near side to the far side gives the point to the Hoosiers as it's out of bounds, 11-11. Hoosiers serve from the far side. That's Cameron Haworth. She's got 2 service aces on the day. Wolverines will do well to make sure she doesn't get on a roll here. Attack goes through the block of Robinson, set by Dowd. Kendall Murray's attack, that's blocked in front as well. Dowd keeps play alive. And the ball falls just barely on Michigan's territory. Touched the net on the way down. And Hoosiers take the lead back 12-11. A big back and forth set. Hoosiers in control. Set by Dowd, attack by Robinson. That strikes Hardwood. It's 12-12. It's now tied up for the 6th time this set. 5 different lead changes as well. Kendall Murray's serve, played by Maris to the near side, blocked in front by Robinson. Indiana's in control. They're still playing with a lot of players really far forward before Maris backs up. Attack by Merzik. That's on the line. All the Indiana players thought it was going out, and it just dropped on the pink line. Michigan in control, 13-12. Timeout called by the Hoosiers head coach, Steve Aird. And we'll be back with you at the end of this timeout. Stay tuned. Michigan leads 13-12 in set 2, and they have a 1-0 lead in the match. The timeout's over, but the team's still in talks in their huddles. The head ref having a conversation with the scorekeeper. In other sports news, the University of Michigan Wolverines football team absolutely dominant over Penn State in the Maze Out last game. At the end of the review, the ball was out on that attack. I guess that's what was taking so long. It was a review. So the fantastic attack by Jess Merzik swaps over to an attack error. There's no replay function here in Cliff Keen Arena for the fans, so we'll assume it was barely out. The scorekeepers, the only ones that have real instant replay access. And now the Hoosiers with the 1-point lead. That's quite the swing as it takes the Wolverines from up by 1 to Hoosiers up by 1. And now serving for the team in red, Morgan Geddes. Morgan Geddes, 6'2", coming to Indiana by way of Grove City, Ohio. And a service ace for Geddes, just out of reach of Hannah Grant. That's her 2nd of the season, 1st of the day. Wolverines now trail by 2. It's 14-12. Geddes Grant is able to control that one, just barely. It was going to go to the scorekeeper's table. Dowd recovered well, and the attack by the Hoosiers blocked in front by Robinson. Hoosiers now try to attack from the far side. Tipped up and over the Dowd-Robinson block. Pertovsky's attack, that goes off the block and then off of the head chest area of Hannah Grant. The ball is still alive, and it's a Hoosiers point as Merzik sends the ball into the out-of-bounds pole. A timeout called by Michigan. We'll be back with you after this timeout, as it is 12-15, Hoosiers lead. Wolverines call a timeout to try to break the Hoosiers' momentum. They're on a 3-0 scoring run. Morgan Geddes serves cross-court, dug by Kendall Murray from her knees. Ball set up and over the block by, that's Pertovsky. And after the block by Pertovsky, Indiana can't control. Maddie Saris' first touch goes pretty far back past the baseline. No one from Indiana can get there. 13-15. Michigan trails by 2. They lead this game 1-0. And to serve for the Wolverines, it's Brooke Humphrey, the serving specialist. No service aces for her today. And the attack in front, blocked out by, that's Merzik and Boney on the near side. Wolverines back within 1. Brooke Humphreys' serve dies mid-court. Hoosiers play a strong attack. Dowd able to control it on the dig. And this attack in front from the far side, Maddie Saris attacks, and that's blocked in front, but the ball goes on Michigan's side after the block. Ball kind of dies off the forearms of Pertovsky. Hoosiers back up by 2. Kenzie Daphne to serve for the Hoosiers. She's the most dangerous server they've got. Low line drive, high speed sort of service style. Sends the ball 20 feet in the air, and a rocket goes straight to Merzik. Great positioning by the Wolverine, and a beautiful attack by May Pertovsky from the far side. Cross court, strikes the service line. And the Wolverines back within 1 here in set 2, a pink night here at Cliff Keen Arena. Serena Nyambio in for the Wolverines. And Scotty Johnson as well. Johnson with the service. All the way from the far side. Last time she was up to serve, she sent the ball floating into the net. This time goes across. Attack from the center of the net, blocked in front by the Wolverines. And this ball just tipped by one of the Wolverines for striking the official out of bounds. So that's a Hoosier ball. The front line for the Wolverines just barely redirecting where the ball was going to go. Off the attack by Maddie Saris. Alonzo Corselis serves cross-court from the far side, and a strong attack by Merzik. That's her 3rd kill of the day. Absolutely beautiful. Put the Wolverines back to within 1 point. Wolverines chasing that 7th tie of this set, trying to draw themselves even with the Hoosiers. Feels like every time they get to within 1 point, the Hoosiers pull something out of their hat and make it work. This time it's out of bounds on an attack by Savannah Kulhady. She was trying to keep the ball on the near side, sends it too far to the right. Michigan ties the game up to the 7th tie of this set, and I believe also 7 lead changes. Very close back and forth set. Strong attack by Saris. Just barely tipped by the block for the Wolverines. Indiana back up by 1, 18-17. Wolverines positioning themselves on the near side as that's Saris on the far side with the serve. She'll go down the line, and 2 Michigan players collide into each other. That's Merzik and Grant, and the ball kind of bounces off of them and onto the floor. So it's 17-19. It was really perfectly placed serve just in between the 2 of their territories. Neither of them able to communicate as they both kind of shoulder bump into each other. Another serve by Maris, and that goes just out of bounds. Very, very close to being another service ace, but good eye by Merzik to watch the ball sail into the blue paint. Wolverines back down by 1. Hannah Grant to serve for the Wolverines. Grant with 1 assist on the day and 8 digs. No service aces, despite being the service queen of Michigan. And a strong attack from the far side goes cross court. Morgan Geddes puts the Hoosiers back up by 2. Kulhady will serve, and that's a service error. The 7th of the match for the Hoosiers. That's Kulhady's first. The other one's tribute to Gray Gosnell, Kenzie Daphne, and Maddie Saris. Wolverines also with 4 service errors on their day. And that'll be 5 as Maddie Dowd sends the ball to the far side of the net. Just strikes the net and falls back down. Hoosiers up by 2. 21-19. Cross-court serve by Howarth. And the attack by Robinson, well dug by Serame. But her dig will send the ball into the net. Wolverines back down by 1, 20-21. Paula Serame, the libero for Hoosiers. Kendall Murray goes cross-court with the serve. Hoosiers keep it on the far side. And just tipped over the block, diving to keep the ball alive is Maddie Dowd, but she cannot. Hoosiers up by 2, 22-20. And time running short for the Wolverines to win this second set. They need 5 of the next 8 points. Cross-court serve, dug by Murray off of her chest. Dowd can't send the set to the near side, so it's going to be bumped over by Grant. Hoosiers play well. A strong attack by Robinson. Serame is able to control on the dig. Hoosiers ball again after another block by Robinson and Merzik. Hoosiers still control. Tip the ball over the block by Robinson. Dowd sends the ball to the near side. Strong attack by Merzik. Hoosiers in control. Back to the far side. Blocked in front by Robinson. And the ball fouls out of bounds. Just barely. And that'll take the wind out of Michigan's sails after such a hard contested point like that. To lose it in such a way where it's just barely out of bounds off of a block by your best blocking player. Wolverines trail by 3, 20-23, and we'll be back with you after this timeout. Don't change that YouTube channel. In other sports news, the Padres and the Phillies are battling in the NLCS right now. Phillies up 1-0, and they've got a man on first and second. With the Yankees, Astros, Phillies, and Padres in the championship series, I would say that this is worst case scenario for Mets fans, the darkest possible timeline. Hoosiers up by 3, just 2 points away from winning set 2. And they'll attack, dug well by Grant, set by Dowd. Murray attacks from the center of the court. Hoosiers play the ball to the near side. Kendall Murray on her knees. Keeps control of the ball, and it's bumped over the net by Merzik. Strong attack, blocked in front by Robinson. Hoosiers send the ball right back over, though. The ball's tipped up by Pertovsky. Merzik attacks. Another long rally, well-contested point. And that'll go off of the chest of Hannah Grant, and it's set point for the Hoosiers after a rocket of an attack from the team in red. Goes cross court. Grant slid down to her knees. That was Maddie Saris, the attacker. Grant receives the serve well. An attack by Robinson lands inbounds. That's a kill by Robinson. Wolverines trail by 3, 21-24. They need 5 straight points, or at least 3 in a row to force extra points. And Brooke Humphrey, the serving specialist for the Wolverines, called upon to lead this charge for the Wolverines. And the first touch can't be controlled by the Hoosiers. And a incredibly strong attack, first touch attack by Jackie Boney. Right down the middle where there were no Hoosiers, beautifully placed. Wolverines trail by 2. Timeout called by Steve Aird. We'll be back in 1 minute for the conclusion of set 2 between the Wolverines and the Indiana Hoosiers. We are back in the second set between the University of Michigan Wolverines and the Indiana Hoosiers. Wolverines trail by 2 and can't lose another point out of the next 2 in order to make sure the Hoosiers don't win set number 2. Wolverines have a 1-0 lead this match. Trail 24-22, and Brooke Humphrey, the serving specialist, called upon by the Wolverines to lead the charge. Brooke Humphrey, with no serving aces and 6 service errors this season. But she's not there to make risky serves. She's a real conservative server. She'll place the ball exactly where it needs to go. And that was exemplified in the last point where the Hoosiers weren't able to control the set off the dig, leaving themselves wide open for a Jackie Bonnie kill and a service error by Brooke Humphrey sends the ball too far, and Michigan drops set 2, 22-25. Just like that, it is 1 set apiece. We'll take a trip down to the ice for some NHL scores between these 2 sets. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers. Oh, the Tampa Bay Lightning just scored. It's now 1-0 Steven Stamkos, who is up there in NHL goal leaders this season. In fact, with that goal, he moves up to 7 in the season, passing Andrei Svechnikov, who had a hat trick last night. He's now got himself 7 goals and a 1-0 lead for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Real quiet day for the NHL, as just 3 games are scheduled to be played. The Red Wings and the Blackhawks. They'll face off at 8:30, and then the Kraken will be in Colorado to face the Colorado Avalanche, the Stanley Cup defending champions. Kraken 1-2-2, not the way you want to start your season. Then again, it's another rebuilding year for the NHL's newest franchise. All right, they've brought a kid out for the Meyer Target game. There are 3 targets placed on the floor. They're all, one's 1/4 of the way from any sideline, and one is halfway down the center. And she's going to underhand service technique, and she strikes the scorer's table. The refs weren't ready. She's getting ever closer. Oh, this one's too far to the target on the right. That one drops just short. She's really going for that target on the right. She's got this underhand service technique, letting the ball roll off her hands. Oh, just missing the target on the left. With 5 seconds left, she hasn't hit a target yet. The pressure's mounting, and that'll be all she wrote. The fans give her a round of applause. No targets hit by the child. Looks like she sent 10 balls over the net. And she'll return to the crowd with a smile on her face. And the Michigan band will play YMCA, and we'll be back with you in 2 minutes. We are back with the 3rd set between the University of Michigan Wolverines and the Indiana Hoosiers here on Pink Night in Cliff Keen Arena. Wolverines won set number 1, 21-25, after a remarkable comeback, and then set 2 was much more even. There wasn't this momentum shift of Hoosiers points, then Wolverines points like there was in set 1. Set 3 is a story yet to be written. Wolverines will start with the ball. Kendall Murray to serve. for the maize and blue. Kendall Murray, low float serve, stays on the near side. Indiana had trouble receiving it. Their attack was soft and blocked in front by Robinson. This attack much stronger, out of reach of Hannah Grant. 1-0 Hoosiers lead. Wolverines 4-4 in conference play, and just barely in the top half of the conference in terms of standings. Hoosiers 3-5 in the Big Ten. It's a big game for both teams. Desperation play by Maddie Dowd keeps the ball alive. Bumped over by Pertovsky. And a block in front by Robinson. Stifles the attack by Maddie Saris on the near side. 1-1. Wolverines on radio left. Indiana Hoosiers on radio right. Jess Robinson to serve. She shifts herself from the near side to the far side. She's really closer to the center than anything else, but just a bit shifted over. And an incredible attack by Maddie Saris. This Indiana offense is defined by high-speed, high-power attacks and serves, and Michigan has been having trouble handling it all day long. Serve by Kenzie Daphne. A rocket well played by Amber Beals, but she can't control the ball. It'll float over the net for a first touch attack. Wolverines trail by 2. It's 1-3. Here comes Daphne's serve again. Sure to be another rocket down the center of the net. This one just a bit too far, and you can hear the force she puts on the ball. Sounds like a bomb every time she touches the ball with the serve. Absolutely incredible. Scotty Johnson subbed in to serve. Wolverines continuing their patterns. Johnson, float serve, cross court, played by Sarame. Set by Merzik, attack by Niambio. Well defended by Sarame. Ball goes high up into the air, almost touches the ceiling tile. Huge cross court attack by Maddie Saris. Goes towards the coach's bench. Tied up 3-3. Scotty Johnson in control of the serve. Another floater towards Sarame, played on the far side. Attack blocked in front by Jess Merzik and Jackie Boney. Michigan takes the lead 4-3. Scotty Johnson starts about 15 feet back beyond the baseline. Slowly makes her way over. Cross court, another dig by Sarame. Played on the near side, set by Grant. Just out of reach. Indiana ties the game up at 4. Cross court serve. Out of bounds. A service error by Alonso Corcelis. The 8th service error for the Hoosiers. This one gives Michigan a 1-point lead early in set 3. It's 5-4. The game tied at 1 set apiece. Merzik to serve from the far side. Cross court. has a much shallower, flatter serve than other players. She doesn't jump nearly as high, and the attack by the Hoosiers goes out of bounds on the near side. Point Michigan, they're up by 2, 6-4. Another Merzik serve. Cross court, drops just in front of Saris, but she's able to keep the play alive nevertheless. Bumped up by Grant behind her back, attack by Murray. Stays on the far side. Hoosiers with a rocket of an attack. That was down the middle by Savannah Kyolhede. Her 7th kill of the day on 15 attempts. Standing out to me so far is Jess Robinson. She's got herself a 778 hitting percentage, 7 kills on 9 attempts. She also leads the Big Ten in hitting percentage with a 498. And a serve, again, not well controlled by the Wolverines. Sends the ball over on the first touch, and a first touch attack by the Hoosiers. 6 apiece. This will be a serve by Saris. Part of that 3-headed monster of serves. And a service error. This third set seems to be defined by those service errors for the Hoosiers. That's their 10th. Pardon me, I guess I lost count at a certain point there, but that's their 10th in the match. And Wolverines wasting no time getting back into it. And a beautiful attack by the Hoosiers, dug well by Hannah Grant, but the ball bounces off her forearm all the way to the LED screen over the zone. The zone is what the Michigan student section is called here at Cliff Keen Arena. Set by Johnson. Robinson attacks. That's blocked in front. Gets through the block, though. Hoosiers have to play. A block in front by Niambio and Robinson. Wolverines take a 1-point lead, 8-7. To serve for the maize and blue will be Maddie Dowd. Front line of Robinson, Murray, and Pertovsky as Niambio subs out for Pertovsky. Attack gets through the block, dug by Dowd. And a tip by Murray sends the ball far to the baseline. An attack by Pertovsky finds open net. The second touch all the way from the baseline for Indiana. Floats over the net. Waiting there for a first touch attack by Pertovsky. Beautiful kill. That is her 4th of the day. Serve by Dowd. Floats on the near side. That stayed down the sideline. Ball is tipped over the block and attacked just out of bounds on the attack by Pertovsky. Point Indiana. It's 9-8. Michigan leads by the slimmest of margins midway through this third set. Another strong serve by the Hoosiers, and an attack by Murray goes just out of bounds on the cross court. 9-all is the score. Waiting to serve is Cameron Howarth. 2 service aces on the day for her, both coming in the first set. Here comes another low serve, clips the top of the net. An attack by Robinson, defended by Sarame. Sarame is going to bump it over her head on the third touch. And Robinson fakes the attack. Kendall Murray with the attack. Tips off the block and goes out of bounds. Point Michigan. Kendall Murray to serve for the Wolverines as they're up by 1 again. Murray with the serve. Just too far out of bounds. Another service error in a set that's been littered with them for both teams. It's now 11-10, University of Indiana. Pardon me, Indiana University. Indiana University, there we go. I had to pause, let myself collect for a moment. Serve received well by the Wolverines, behind the back bump, or pardon me, sort of over her own head bump for Merzik. An attacking error by the Wolverines puts the Hoosiers up by 2. Geddes to serve. All the way from the far side, she runs diagonally as she serves. And that's a service ace for Morgan Geddes. 13-10 is the score in set number 3. It's close games like these between good but not great teams that really decide the bottom portion of the NCAA tournament. There's no conference tournaments. It's all winning the regular season and, you know, the committee's decisions. Michigan wins that point off of a blocking error up front. Wolverines trail by 2. Wolverines almost broke into the rankings with their winning streak at the beginning of the season, and they are number 25 now. This game is sort of a must-win if you want to stay in those rankings. Wolverines defend well. Dowd with a set tipped over by Pertovsky. And the Hoosiers tip the ball over the Merzik block. And the attack goes just out of bounds. Wolverines back down by 3. Serve by Kenzie Daphne. Another low-lying rocket strikes hardwood. Just in bounds, a service ace for the Hoosiers. That's their 7th of the day. Compared to the Wolverines' 2. Timeout called by the Wolverines head coach, Mark Rosen. We'll be back with you in a minute after this timeout. Here comes the serve from Kenzie Daphne. Happy midnight release day, by the way, for all those who celebrate Taylor Swift album releases. I personally, not a huge Swiftie, but I know many at WCBN are, so if that's one of you out there, hope you enjoyed the new album, heard many mixed reviews, and a service error by Kenzie Daphne. Her ball goes just a bit too low. Strikes the net. Wolverines down by 3. Here in the third set, 15-12. least I'm pretty sure it's 15-12. One score sheet says 12-14, one says 15-12, so we'll see what happens. What's the actual truth? Anyway, 16-12. Now off of a service error by Scotty Johnson as the ball goes just too far. Wolverines defend the serve well. Johnson with a set attack by Boney strikes the net. Hoosiers up by 5. Beautiful weather in Ann Arbor right now. Wolverines defend well. Desperation play made by Amber Beals, running all the way to the Michigan bench and setting the ball up over her head. Johnson with a bump keeps the play alive. Attack by Merzick stays on the far side. Hoosiers transfer the ball over to the near side. A strong attack by Maddie Saris. Her 14th kill of the day. Hoosiers up by 6. Timeout again called by Mark Rosen. And we'll be back with you after this one concludes. Wolverines trail by 6. This game is tied 1 set each. Wolverines trail by 6, or perhaps 5, depending on what scoreboard you're looking at. We're going to go with 6 here on this booth. It's a 3-0 scoring run for the Hoosiers, led by the serving skills of Candela Alonso Corcelis. But this time Wolverines are able to break the serve as Jackie Bonney's kill strikes the hardwood just before it's able to be dug by Gray Gosnell in the center of the defensive zone for the Hoosiers. Serve by Berzik. Well dug by Gosnell. Johnson dives to keep the play alive. Blocked in front by Grosnell. By Kjolhede. On the near side, Hoosiers in control of this game. Hoosiers back up by 6. Maddie Saris, who leads the team in kills, will be serving. She'll go cross court. She's got 2 service aces on the day. And a strong attack by Jess Merzick just clips off a Saris. And then it hits the hardwood. Wolverines take control back. They've been keeping pretty even pace since the timeout with the Hoosiers, but they're still down by 5. Hannah Grant serves, and that's out of bounds. Another service error for Michigan's serving queen. Wolverines seem just a bit off with serves today. Just 2 service aces. And now 9 service errors. Vaportovsky comes back in for the Wolverines. Dowd still the setter, and she'll also serve. Cross court, that drops. Able to be played well by the Hoosiers. Wolverines send the ball to the near side. Out of bounds on the attack by Pertovsky. Hoosiers have 21 points. Looks like Marco Rosen might be pulling out the challenge card. There's a discussion going on between him and the head ref. Challenging for a tip. And we'll be back with you after this because we have no replay powers here in Cliff Keen Arena. So I'll let you know what the result is. Rocket of a serve from Indiana, how they've been playing all day. Well defended by Michigan, but a kill by number 16 in red. Morgan Geddes from the near side going cross court and slow. Makes it 22-15, Hoosiers in control. Now Geddes serves. Kendall Murray's attack strikes the barber pole. That determines whether the ball is in or out, and when it hits the pole, that is out. Hoosiers now 2 points away from winning this set, and with such a commanding lead, it's 23-15. Serve dug well by the Wolverines. Down, a little misdirection. The setter puts the ball over herself with the set, and that'll win the Wolverines the point. Hoosiers never able to regain control of the ball. Sure, they send it back over, but then a kill by the Wolverines puts them back in control. 16-23 is the score. Timeout called by Hoosiers. We'll be back. Oh, no, sorry. It's being reviewed by the referee. I'm not sure what for. Well, I'll let you know when we get back. Stay tuned and don't change that channel. Whatever the challenge was, it was no good. The ruling was upheld. Michigan still with the point. They trail by 7, though. It's 16 to 23. And a service error by Allison Jacobs sends the ball too far, and it is set point for the Indiana Hoosiers. Jacobs with the dig. Dowd bumps the ball up. Attack on the near side by Merzik. That goes off the block and out of play. 17-24. Here's the attack from the Hoosiers, blocked in front by, that's Pertovsky on the near side. University of Michigan mourns the loss of Ian Hume, the longtime equipment manager for the Michigan hockey team. Lake Superior State University held a moment of silence for him when the Wolverines came to town. That's a real classy move. Wolverines win another point. It's 24-19. Now, in another timeout. We'll be back with you after this one. Jess Robinson to serve for the Wolverines. They're down by 5. They had a 8-point deficit. They've cut it down now. They still need 5 more points in a row to ensure set 3 doesn't fall into Hoosier hands. Robinson with the serve, cross court. Played well by Saris. The attack hits top of the net. And there's a bit of confusion. Another challenge by Mark Rosen as Indiana is saying that they played the ball, it touched the net, then the Michigan touched it, then it touched the barber pole. Michigan saying that they never touched it. Hoosiers touched the ball, bounced off the net, didn't touch Michigan, and then touched the barber pole, making it out. Tough call by the referee who was directly in front of the play. So we'll see what the video reviewed comes back with. This point goes the Wolverines' way. They'll have cut the lead down to 4 and be on a 4-0 scoring run. Fans have calmed down a little bit here since the exciting first set. And being down 8 in a set will do that to you. Scorekeeper done with her review. It looks like she's going to talk to some other NCAA officials. And it is point Indiana at the end of the review. Indiana wins set number 3, 25-19. And they're closing in on their first back-to-back victory since the month of September. So we'll be back with you in 3 minutes at the end of the intermission for set number 4 here in Cliff Keen Arena. In other Michigan Wolverine news, a heartbreaker for the field hockey team, losing in double overtime, 1-0 to Northwestern. Other sports being played right now for Michigan, soccer, the men's team at Rutgers. The score there is 2-1 in favor of the home team, Rutgers, out in New Jersey. Yellow card just given to Jens Hoff for unsporting. Probably unsportsmanlike conduct, basically. The Michigan goal comes for Nicholas Kalukian. I believe that's either a transfer or a freshman. I don't recognize that name. All right, Nicholas Kalukian. He is a freshman out of Wayne, New Jersey. Also, Wolverines playing ice hockey at Lake Superior State. They're up 4-1 through one period. Goal scored by Adam Fantilli twice, Jacob Truscott, and Keenan Draper. His first goal as a Michigan Wolverine for the Red Wings draft pick. That's Keenan Draper, Chris Draper's son. And we're getting back into action here between the Hoosiers and the Wolverines. And a kill by Merzik from the far side. Michigan takes the 1-0 lead early in set 4. Indiana Hoosiers up 2-1 in terms of sets overall. Michigan trying to weather this offensive storm by the Hoosiers the past 2 sets. Hold on and win these last 2 after taking number 1, 21-25. Strong attack by Merzik, goes off the block in front by Morgan Geddes. The block by Geddes goes out of bounds, though, on the near sideline. And Robinson will continue to serve. 2-0 Michigan. Robinson float serve, drops in front for Saris. Attack blocked by the Wolverines, but stays on the Michigan side. Merzik with an attack, and that's dug incorrectly by Alonso Corcelis. Probably Corcelis, actually, now that I'm looking at it. as the dig goes up over the net and out of bounds. 3-0 Michigan lead, their largest lead since set number 1. This attack by Indiana was a standing attack and then blocked in front by Kaylee Ramelsberg off the strong attack by Jackie Boney. Wolverines up by 4. Robinson's attack. Dug well by Dowd. Fantastic work. The ball was going past her to keep the play alive. And the attack by Merzick goes out of bounds. 4-1 is the score. Michigan takes an early commanding lead, winning 4 in a row before surrendering 1 point. Here comes the Getty serve. Cross court, played well by Grant, set by Dow to the far side. Strong attack by Merzick, kept alive by Sarama. Attack blocked in front by Bertovsky, and again, just goes through the block this time though, and Allison Jacobs can't get there in time. Cross court serve, flips top of the net. Allison Jacobs dives to keep the play alive. And they're saying it touched the ground before it touched Jacobs' hands. Tough play. Allison Jacobs lying down, laying her body on the line to make the play. No such luck for her, though, as she can't quite get to the ball in time. Jacobs with the dig off the serve. And a little tap out over the net by Boney. And Boney dives to keep play alive after a dive by Pertovsky. Pertovsky has to play the ball from her seated position. She can't get the ball up over the net. And we're tied for apiece. So that lead by Michigan is now evaporated after just 4 more points. Another serve. Played up by Grant. Set by Dowd. Attack by Pertovsky. Well defended by Sarame. Another attack on the far side. Sarame dives to keep the play alive. Saris tips the ball over. Jacobs to her knees to play it. Attack from the far side. Strong kill by Pertovsky. Michigan takes the lead back 5-4. Scotty Johnson to serve for the Wolverines. She's always the second server of a set for the Maize and Blue. Today, Johnson has 1 service ace. She's also got 2 service errors to her name today. Float serve cross court. Played well by Indiana. Tipped and kept alive by Michigan. Set by Johnson. And that was the 3rd set. No. Pardon me, 3rd touch, but it ends up being a double touch for Scotty Johnson, the setter. Those double touches seem to be plaguing her game today. 5-5 is the score. Bit of a serve. Of course, it's from Kenzie Daphne. Wolverines can't really control the play, and the attack goes out of bounds. Indiana Hoosiers lead by 1 now. Kenzie Daphne. 6 feet tall sophomore out of Westfield, Indiana. Hometown hero for them. And a strong attack by Merzick. Stays on the near sideline. Touches pink. And stays in. It's 6-6. What an attack by Merzick. Keeping the team in it so far. Jess Robinson's hitting percentage has dropped to a .583, but still above her season average. Grant dives, keeps the play alive as it goes over the net. And a block by Boney can't be controlled, goes out of bounds. Michigan drops the point. It's now 7-6. Real tough look for the Wolverines here. They blew a lead in set 2 and set 3. And now again in set 4. Strong attack by Pertovsky from the far side after the serve reception. 7-7 is the score. And a Grant to serve. She'll go cross court, played up by Saris. And she'll tip the ball over the block. Diving to keep play alive is Grant. Staying on the near side with Niambio. Her attack dug by Indiana. Merzick slides to her knees, keep play alive. Johnson with a bump. And a strong attack by Allison Jacobs. Finds Hardwood, gets past Sarame. Wolverines take the lead 8-7, and that's Allison Jacobs' second kill of the day. Grant doesn't like to take a lot of time between serves. Sends this one up. It's attacked over. No, it hits the net. The third touch was going to be from towards the baseline for Indiana. And Gray Gosnell was the one to hit the ball, tried to get it over. Softly in control, but instead it just hit the net. And an incredible attack from Savannah Kyolhere. Just misses the block in front by the Wolverines and then just sneaks past Hannah Grant as she was getting out of the way. That rocket was going out of bounds. Wolverines up by 3 now. It's 10-7. Timeout called, and we'll be right back with you. Wolverines to serve. Hannah Grant has the Wolverines on a 4-0 scoring run. And that's ended pretty quickly as Savannah Colhady sends the ball cross court from the near side to the far on a laser of an attack. Michigan up by 2 now. Wolverines receive the serve well. Scotty Johnson with the set, and Allison Jacobs hits the ball way too far. It's 10-9. Hoosiers cut the lead to 1. Here comes the serve. Blocked up by the Wolverines. Attack by Jacobs. That's tipped up and over the block. Niambio and Robinson tried to get the block. Goes through their hands and out of bounds. Tied up by the Hoosiers, 10-10. Seems like every time the Wolverines try to get any sort of momentum going, since that first set, Hoosiers are quick to take it away. Here comes the serve by Maddie Saris. She has she has double the amount of kills of anybody on the Indiana team besides her. And the third touch from the Hoosiers goes into the net. It was a bad-looking touch. It was a bump. The set didn't get all the height on it that it was needed. So Cameron Howarth had no choice but to try to bump the ball up and over the net from in close. Ends up going into the net. And a service ace from Maddie Dowd puts the Wolverines up 2. Went cross court, bounced off of Maddie Saris' forearms, and out of play. Dowd another serve. Drops and played well by Isa Lopez. A second touch attack goes over. Wolverines can't control. Set by Jacobs. Attack by Robinson. Well defended. And the attack by Merzik goes too far. It's 12-12 now. Again, Michigan gets themselves a little bit of separation on the scoreboard. Indiana closes that gap right back up. And Indiana finds a perfectly placed attack by Morgan Geddes, just out of reach of Hannah Grant. Indiana up by 1, 13-12, halfway through this fourth set. Indiana leads 2-1 in the match. Dowd keeps play alive. Hannah Grant bumps the ball over the net. Blocked in front by Allison Jacobs. And the Hoosiers send the ball to the other side. Point Michigan as the attack goes to the outside of the block and to the outside of the sideline as well. Allison Jacobs to serve. Haley Hallgren comes in for Allison Jacobs. So Haley Hallgren to serve her first game action today so far. The graduate student. Great block up front, but even better defense by Isa Lopez as she dove backwards to keep play alive. And Wolverines with a kill. Get the lead back, 14-13. That was May Pertovsky. Hallgren also starts pretty far back and has a very shallow toss. Float serve stays on the far side. Isa Lopez defends well. Indiana attack goes out of bounds. Michigan up by 2. This ball goes out of bounds by Haley Hallgren. Trying to keep it on the sideline. Goes too far out of bounds. 14-15. Comes the attack on the serve. Blocked well from the knees by Hannah Grant. Wolverines get the kill by Pertovsky. They pull ahead by 2. They maintain their lead. Wolverines defending well. Attack blocked in front, but out of bounds off of the block by Alonso Corseas. Jess Robinson with the ball for the Wolverines. Wolverines up by 3. Strong attack by Indiana. Wolverines in control. Hallgren will bump the ball over the net. And an attack blocked in front, but out of bounds. The block goes all the way cross court from the far side to the out of bounds on the near side. Wolverines still ahead by 2. That'll go down as a kill by Alonso Corseas. Grant will bump the ball over after a desperation play to keep the point alive. Corseas will tip the ball over. Blocked in front by Indiana. Diving to the ground to keep the play alive is Grant. She's been all over the court today for the Wolverines. Another attack blocked in front. That'll strike hardwood. Wolverines up by 3. Candela Alonso Corseas moves to the center of the court for Indiana. She's from Spain, specifically Madrid. Making quite the mark as a freshman on the IU roster. To date, she's hitting a 130 with 82 errors and 138 kills on 432 attempts. Comes the serve from Johnson. Wolverines up by 3. And that'll fall in front of Boney after she blocks it. It'll go into the net. Wolverines now up by 2. Looks like that hand may be still bothering Scotty Johnson when she laid out and the ball slammed into it. It's Kenzie Daphne to serve, and the Wolverines respond in kind with a laser from Jess Merzick. Wolverines in control of this game now, 19-16. And a service error by Jess Merzick. Again, brings the game to within 2. Wolverines 6 points away from winning set 4. That's 8 points away for the Hoosiers. Candela Alonso Correas, pardon me, serves for the Hoosiers, and the Wolverines get a kill by Jackie Boney. They're back up by 3, 2017. The two teams just alternating points for the past 6. And a Grant serves. Played up by Saramis. Johnson with the set. And an attack goes out of bounds. Merzick was the player to hit it. It's 2018 Michigan lead. No team has strung back-to-back points together since the Wolverines did it to make it 14-17. Darris serves for the Hoosiers. Wolverines defended well, and that's a kill by Morgan Geddes on the near side. Bounces off the block and lands on the hardwood. Indiana back to within 1. Timeout called by Michigan. So we will be right back with you after this. Wolverines lead by 1. Maddie Saris to serve for the Hoosiers. It's 2019 here in the 4th set. Michigan trails in terms of sets by 1. It's 1-2. Allison Jacobs with the attack from the near side. Michigan up by 2, 21-19. Nyambio and Johnson sub out. Dowd and Pertovsky sub in. Maddie Dowd to serve for the Wolverines. Hoosiers defend well. Strong attack. Blocked in front by Robinson. Hoosiers with another attack blocked by Robinson. This time the block goes out of bounds. It's 20-21. Wolverines still lead by 1. But Indiana's making it much closer as we move towards the end of this 4th set. Hoosiers. Light serve. Robinson's attack. That just touches the barber pole. You can see the telltale vibrations in the net. And we're tied up at 21. If the Hoosiers manage to weather the storm and hang on, it would be heartbreaking for the 25-ranked Michigan. Pertovsky tips the ball over the block. Attack by the Hoosiers, blocked by Grant. Again, another tip by Pertovsky. Attack blocked in front by Robinson and out of bounds, but just barely. Indiana Hoosiers take a 1-point lead late in the 4th set. Another timeout called by Michigan here at Pink Night, and fans not thrilled. We'll be back with you in just a moment for the conclusion of set number 4. We are back. Indiana serves. They're up by 1, 21-22. Attack by Merzick, defended well by Isa Lopez. Dowd sends the ball back towards the center of the court. Lopez dives, keeps play alive. And the attack by Cameron Haworth finds the floor. Michigan down by 2. At one point in this set, they were up 21-19. They were up 20-17. Indiana has now won 6 of the past 7 points. Make that 6 of the last 8 as Michigan draws the game back to within 1. That's a kill by May Pertovsky. Another assist by Maddie Dowd. That's her 11th of the day. Scotty Johnson's got 5 assists. Hannah Grant leads the team with 19. That's Diggs. Is the 23rd assist for Maddie Dowd. 15th for Scotty Johnson. And another timeout called, this time by Indiana. I guess these coaches were saving it towards the end. If you like what you're hearing, you can tune in to WCBN's Daily Sports Report, Monday through Thursday, 6 to 6:30 p.m. And that is on 88.3 FM in the Ann Arbor area. Or you can go to WCBN.org and press that listen in browser option. Works on any and all browsers, including mobile. Also, here on the WCBN Sports 2 YouTube channel, as well as the WCBN Sports 1 YouTube channel. You can find almost every home game for Michigan team sports, as well as some away games, all away games for football, as well as some hockey games, some basketball games. I know that Michigan hockey is playing in Lake Superior State as we speak. That is on WCBN1, and this weekend there will be game 2 of that set tomorrow night at 6 p.m. in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. That's on the border in the Upper Peninsula, sharing that Sault Ste. Marie with Ontario, where the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds play. Sault Ste. Marie, a OHL team that has a lot of NHL talent on it. And a block in front by Pertovsky ties the game up at 23. Wolverines clawing back when the fans seemed like they had all the wind taken out of their sails. Michigan, the players did not. And now it'll be a serve by Hallgren out of bounds. And it's match point for the Hoosiers. Hallgren with 2 service errors on 3 service attempts. She has not been what Michigan has needed her to be today. And Cameron Haworth, with 2 service aces on the day, will serve for the Hoosiers. Blocked by Grant, set by Dow to the far side. Attack played up by the libero. Another block and out of bounds. Indiana wins the game here at Pink Night in Cliff Keen Arena. They win set 4, 25-23, set 3, 25-19, and set 2, 25-22. My name is Joshua Tenzer. That'll be all she wrote for the University of Michigan Wolverines volleyball game here against Wisconsin. Thank you for tuning in. Good night, and as always, go blue.